Alright, what I'm going to go through now is the interview presentation and tell you a little bit about how to approach this. Obviously, the people that you're meeting with right now are interested in making a career change or doing something part-time. This could have occurred from either a, hopefully from a warm prospect that referred you to a friend or a coworker, and you set up an appointment, or they set up one for you, and or you could have been a cold prospect from a face-to-face prospecting. So anyway, you're definitely going to want to start the whole presentation off by getting to know them a little bit better. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and I'll go through a series of questions on another training. But you need to keep a couple things in mind. Keep in mind wife. You need to keep in mind Ford. That stands for, wife is what do you do for work, interests, family, education. Ford is family, occupation, recreation, or dreams. So you've heard it referred to as form before, but I kind of changed it to Ford. So it's Ford, family, occupation, recreation, dreams, or wife, work, interest, family, education. Some of those obviously overlap. And then needs. What do you do now? What do you enjoy about what you do? What would you change, which is alter? Or do you see yourself doing that for the next 20, 25 years? And so keep those all in mind, because those are the questions that we're going to go through. But you have to get to know them. Probably 10, 15 minutes. I mean, you could go longer if you wanted to, but if you're less than that, you probably don't. You're not getting to know them. You need to approach this like this person is going to be in your business, your life, for the next 10, 20 years. And so you might as well get to know them. People will join people they like and they trust, and that's all starting right now. If you're not very comfortable talking to people, you just need to practice. You need to get better at that. And so I'll give a couple more. I'll do another training on this, but your goal, okay, of an interview, okay, and you might want to write this down, is to pique their interest. The steps are pique someone's interest, get them involved, which means to get them to join, and then next would be to get them to do, which means to get them to set appointments. And so the steps are pique their interest, get them involved, and get them to do. And so at this point in time, you've piqued their interest enough to sit down with you. Now you got to pique their interest enough to join you and join your business, and then possibly even get them involved if you want to cover that. But the key is you want to say as little as you have to say to get them interested or to get them involved. Okay, you don't want to brain dump. You recruit people away from what they're doing. You do not recruit people to Primerica, a financial services company. That is not what you recruit people to. Okay, you don't recruit them with facts. You don't recruit them with information. Okay, people make decisions emotionally, not logically, and so keep that in mind. Okay, you got to ask yourself, Darla always uses this term, don't sell a rubber chicken, which means don't sell a bunch of facts. You got to get them emotional, so you got to ask questions, and basically we want them to see how we're going to help them reach the goals and dreams they have for their family. Okay. Alright, you're going to transition to the presentation. The presentation is going to be at the end of the interview, or kind of towards the end of the interview. You should have it on the table either using your iPad or using obviously a flip chart of some sort, unless you're doing a napkin presentation, which I do suggest you learn to where you can explain this without having to use slides. But anyway, you're going to transition to this by saying, after you've done a closing statement where they've agreed to join the business by you being able to basically the question would be, so Ray, let me ask you a question. If you could find something that allowed you to have, more freedom of time so you could spend more time with your family, but also still give you the opportunity to make, a lot of money, and is there any reason you wouldn't be open to getting started? And they'd say no, and I would say, well, let me do this. Let me show you what we do, okay, tell a little bit more about what we do specifically, and how I'm going to help you reach the goals you just explained, okay? Because I don't want you just to work with us to get another job. I would like you to find something that's going to get you where you want to go. Does that sound fair? And so I just transitioned this by saying, obviously you know what's going on out there right now today financially. Credit card debt's at an all-time high. More than half of Americans have no emergency savings. 68 million Americans have, no life insurance, whatsoever. And the average 50-year-old has less than $10,000 saved, but yet when you ask them when they want to retire, they say 65. And to top it off, almost 8 out of 10 people live paycheck to paycheck, and so they don't even have any money to fix the problem. And the The problem is that current financial, kind of system isn't designed for people to win financially. Let me kind of explain what I mean. So here's the problem: is that the current financial system isn't designed for people to win financially. Because basically, here's how it works: is everyone has their money going all these different directions, and the problem is that all these companies just want to sell you products. They don't want to give you a plan, to be debt-free and financially independent. Because think about this, okay? What's the likelihood you could get a rep? And I point to all these different companies, from your mortgage company, from your credit card company, from your your car loans, your mutual funds, your 401k, your savings account, your banker, your life insurance, your car insurance, your home insurance agent, all of those guys to sit down at the house of an average middle class family and put together a plan that's going to get them debt free, 20 years faster, and free up a couple $100s a month, maybe in their insurance or something, or on their debt, so they can start saving money for their retirement. Do you think that's ever going to happen? No. There's a 0% chance that that's going to happen. Well, that's what Primerica has done, is we've put all these companies together into one, with basically the goal of saving people money in their debt, their car insurance, life insurance, and then saving that money, for retirement. We basically have created what, Walmart did in retail. We created a one-stop kind of financial, supermarket, if you will. By the way, I don't always go over this slide because a lot of times it's unnecessary. People don't really care, even though everybody thinks that they do. At this point, they don't. So anyway, but if I was, here's what I'd say. I'd say basically Primerica's been around over 30 years. We're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We have over 6 million clients, 5,000 offices, which makes us the largest financial company in North America, even though you probably haven't heard of us before. The reason would be is we don't do any TV or paper advertising. We're not going to spend $1 billion like Geico to get people to come to our office because we have a lizard and overcharge them on things just so we can pay $1 billion to advertise. We advertise through people. That's how we get our referrals, is we change people's lives, and so they tell their friends about us. See, our mission is to get people debt-free and financially independent, not financially dependent. Let me show you what I mean exactly. I'm not going to give you the exact details of everything we do, but give you kind of an idea of what we do on a daily basis. This is a client we sat down with before, and this is what their results were after they sat down with us, okay? And this is very typical. This family had a $165,000 mortgage paying off in 24 years, 3 credit cards of $13,000. They're going to be debt-free in 58 years, okay? We took that same debt, got them out of it debt-free in 20 years. So they're 55 years old, okay, and saved them $56,000 in interest with 0 extra money coming out of their pocket, okay, which is incredible. Who would turn that down, right? And so they had $150,000 in life insurance, paying $298 a month. We gave them $300,000, and it was only $123, so we saved them $175, okay. Their car and home insurance was $243 before. Now it's $178. We saved them $65. So it's a $240 savings that they had. Now, here's where things are different between us and every other company. Is what do most people do with the $240? Right? They blow it. Okay. What should they do with it? They should save it, right? And that's what we tell people to do. Is we take that $240. They were saving $100 a month in an IRA that had $20,000 already, which was going to give them $107,000 at 65. Okay. We took that other $200, added it to the, gave them a total of $300, which at 65 would give them $1 million. Okay, so the results of our plan, they're debt-free in 20 years, they're properly insured, and they have over $1 million saved. Now, question for you: how different is their life here versus here? It's unbelievably different, right? How many people do you think you know that need that? Pretty much everybody, right? Okay, and here's the crazy thing: is all it took was a plan. A free plan at that, right? Because we don't charge any money to do it. How we get paid is if we're able to replace one of their products or give them something better, we obviously make money as a company and they pay us, okay? Because think about this, Ray, who would turn down a plan like this? Nobody, right? How good do you think it would feel to get paid to do this for people every day? Be incredible, wouldn't it? Well, that's what we get paid to do, and that's one of the coolest things. Let me show you this. Coolest thing is we get paid to change people's lives financially. And so look at it, says a part-time, just a district manager, which is just a rep, you get $1,000 to sit down with a family. In a full-time position, you make about $2,000, which is absolutely incredible. And so you think about this. I mean, you said you wanted to make $4,000 to $5,000 earlier. That's basically 4 to 5 people, a month, and you were able to replace your income. Isn't that incredible?